Hello everybody, it is John, and today we are looking at one of the older games. It's from the 70s and it's from 1979, and it's Middle Ages Empires of the Feudal Age by Fantasy Games Unlimited. And I must admit I'm rather surprised that everything's still in fairly good nick. So let's go and have a look at what's in this box and what makes up the game. Today we are looking at a rather old board game from Fantasy Games Unlimited. Let me make sure that I've got that right. Yes, Fantasy Games Unlimited. And this game was produced in 1979. And the design was by Terence Donnelly and Wilf Backhouse, and the graphics here are by Mike Gilbert. So this is, well, my set, which I must admit has lasted better than I thought it would do. So you have cards that will represent the particular powers throughout the game. So, you know, the Count of Corsica, King of Aragon, Emperor Byzantium, Sultan of Taurus. So you do have, obviously, it includes the Arabic world. So they are the, I guess, the primary pieces in the game, with their chits representing their places on the board. So all the characters are sitting there. I have so that would be those counters there. Then you have numbered, or lettered, I should say, lettered chits that represent to the walled towns and spy rings, and obviously your, by the looks of it, your flagship as well. So that's that. Money is represented by these very high quality chits that range from 10, by the looks of it, up to 500. So, but yeah, so the board itself, this is a folding board. So it's a rather strange affair, but it's a folding board with one extra board that is tacked on, and so that represents the, I guess, the North Africa, the Turkey, that particular area along the Palestinian or Palestine, Syria area. So it's yeah, it's interesting. I can't. If I've played it, I honestly cannot remember how it goes. But the rule book itself, it's only 16 pages, and I was having a flick through trying to find where the how the damage is calculated or stuff, but I just am not having a great deal of luck. But the rules themselves, a lot of reading, which was fairly indicative of the days. So some people may not like it, but as with anything, it's also one of those games where you write your orders. So the sequence of play is you'd write your orders, you recruit spies, there'd be devastation, loading armies onto ships, sea movement and battles, land movement, battles and retreats, assaults, and then spy reports. So it is a fairly detailed game in regards to what happens throughout it. But it was interesting because I'll read what I was looking at the beginning. So, you know, for 1979, this was a fairly standard way that games were produced, and there is nothing wrong with how they were produced back then because people bought them, people played them, people had a lot of fun. So it says here, Middle Sea is a game of economic warfare and diplomacy in the Mediterranean world. The geographic and religious divisions are roughly those of about 1200 AD. So we are looking at, I believe, the Crusade period. So it says here, any number of players may participate and the game may last for any length of time. Each player starts with certain territory and resources which he tries to build into an empire richer than that of any other by acquiring and holding provinces and by building trade routes. I'm just having a look. Does it have a set in here at the back for winning conditions? I don't know. The fact that it said that the game can fairly much go on forever has me slightly it does not seem to indicate. I can't see it readily offhand. But play proceeds in cycles called years, each year being divided into 4 seasons or turns, beginning with winter. In winter, players receive revenue. This currency is in the form of marks. Movement and combat takes place during spring, summer and autumn. Besides provinces, trade centres and currency, a player's holdings may consist of armies, spy rings, fortifications in the forms of keeps or walled towers, and leaders. So, yes, the game, as I said, is quite involved, and you have hands, you have a hand of cards. Orders must be written for all building and recruiting. So it is very much a product of its time. So like diplomacy, where you would write where your units and such would go, this game obviously follows a similar tact. So look, there you go. That is Middle Sea, Empires of the Feudal Age by Fantasy Games Unlimited. It still sits in my collection. Will it ever get another game? I have no idea. Perhaps it will. So, look, thank you very much for watching. Till next time, signing off, the Honourable John.